For This Week starts right now.
Hello, and thank you for joining us on ABC24 This Week. I'm Pepper Baker. You are here for the real stories behind the big stories, and I hope you'll join us every Sunday at 9 a.m., 10:35 p.m., or on 24+. All right, let's see who is at the table today. As always, political analyst Otis Sanford, Deidre Malone with the Carter Malone Group, and Luke Simbel, the Shelby County Republican Party press secretary, joining us today. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have a jam-packed show, so let's get to the topics. First up, all things elections. Now that the filing deadline for candidates has passed, we are all picking which races Shelby County voters should pay attention to. Then we will talk about the massive turnout at a meeting in South Haven discussing XAI's request for 41 gas turbines. And lastly, we will tribute the legendary civil rights icon, Reverend Jesse Jackson, who passed away this week at the age of 84. All right, but back to number one, elections. And I want to be clear, we record this show on Friday at 3 p.m. You see it on Sunday. So if we're going off information that we have as of Friday at 3 p.m., which is important because at this time, a day after the deadline for candidates to file their petitions, we still do not have an official list from the Shelby County Election Commission on approved candidates. The filing deadline was Thursday, February 19th at noon. So we are reporting on the most recent list of candidates who pulled a petition and filed, which is from Wednesday, February 18th. That's why we have great sources at the table who've done their homework and can fill in any gaps on who is officially approved. Again, Shelby County primaries are May 5th. All right, so I want to open it up to Luke first. So Luke, what is your race that you want voters to watch out for? And also, are you surprised that we don't have an official list of candidates at this time?
Sure. I'll go in reverse order.
Yes.
I'm a little surprised we don't have an official list yet. I've been hearing from many candidates actually across the aisle who are saying that they're a little frustrated with the slowness in getting the petition list. There were multiple times throughout the process where there were 4, 5, 6 days with no list released. And so I do think the Election Commission could be a little faster at getting that list out. It's a little bit frustrating for everybody, us included, when we're trying to talk about it.
That's true.
I was talking to Chairwoman Rachel Wall with the Shelby GOP on the way over before this taping, and she is very pleased with the results of what we're seeing. The goal of the Republican Party of Shelby County was to focus on key races. We know that the Republican Party is a minority party in Shelby County. We are a blue county, but what the Republican Party wants to do is focus on the mayoral race. For example, with John DeBerry, Judge Joe Brown has also pulled a petition. So you have 2 African-American men running to be the first African-American Republican mayor for Shelby County. That is exciting for the Republican Party. We have the Arlington School Board races. Those are up on the ballot in August, but all 3 incumbents pulled Republican petitions. This is the first time that those races are partisan, and the Republican Party really wanted to show that our suburban municipalities are Republican strongholds still. So I think they're going to be able to show that. But I think the mayoral race is really going to shape up to be interesting. John DeBerry was a shock announcement for many coming out, former longtime Democrat legislator turned Republican, cabinet member with Governor Bill Lee, and he is running to win. And I thought you did a great interview with him earlier this week, Pepper. He gave you a lot of information, and you can see he's fired up to win.
Yeah, we actually do have a list of those candidates both on the Republican side and as well as the Democratic side. So while they're working to maybe get those up, I do agree that there's it's just starting to become very interesting. So I want to ask you all about, what you think of John DeBerry. And you all kind of are backing him totally and not Judge Joe Brown, really.
Well, I will say John DeBerry was very intentional about including the party in his announcement. He was intentional about keeping us up to date with what he was wanting to do. Judge Joe Brown did not do that, so I think that's why you see a little bit of a difference. And the state party still has to go through the process of declaring whether our candidates are bona fide. So that should happen by next week.
And that's a perfect time to toss it to Deidre here. We're going to talk about bona fide. We also have a graphic of all the Democratic candidates, which is a quite crowded race, 8 of them there. But Deidre, your thoughts?
Well, I think that it's important that primary boards do their due diligence, and it was brought to our attention today that the primary board did send Dr. Marie Fagans a notice that she may be de-bona fide as a Democrat. It's my understanding that they did ask her to submit her voting record, and that did not occur. So I've heard that from several sources. And so if that's true, then that means she cannot run as a Democrat in this upcoming Shelby County election. But we have really qualified Democrats that will be on this ballot. You have J.B. Smiley, Heidi Kuhn, you have Melvin Burgess, Harold Collins, you have Mikkel Lowry, and some others, but really qualified Democrats running.
Yes, and to your point, Marie Fagans 2 days ago, I believe, or this week, put a Facebook post out there saying that she was voted unanimously by the Shelby County Primary Board. It got a lot of reaction on there, and so then now to see this happen a few days later, where now the Shelby County Democratic Party is saying that that was not the case, you kind of wonder, how did she get that information?
So Pepper, you've got to understand there is a difference between the Shelby County Democratic Party and the Shelby County Democratic Primary Board, two separate entities, and that primary board is the one that can debonify a candidate.
She did have a screenshot that
I know, I saw it.
had a statement
Absolutely.
from the primary board.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But it's my understanding that that's just not the truth.
Yeah, we did get a quote from the state Democratic Party who said that they were not aware at this time about the Democratic Party from the county level needing a review process for Dr. Fagan's candidacy, so they will not be reviewing it from what we got in our statement today. But Otis, your take on this?
Well, yeah, I think everything that Deidre heard, I heard as well. And also, because the deadline to run as an independent was Thursday as well, that means she cannot run as an independent if she is indeed kicked off the Democratic ballot. My race to watch may not be as sexy as the others, but I'm looking at this county trustees race. The two primary candidates right now are Joseph Lee, who is a former member of Dr. Willie Harrington's administration, who also was appointed to head the MLGW at one point, and also Thomas Long, who is a former city court clerk. I'm hearing that, and I haven't seen any financial disclosures because Thomas Long got in the race kind of late, that Dr. Harrington is going to be the treasurer for Thomas Long, even though he has been sort of the mentor for Joseph Lee for all of those years. So I just think that that's an interesting race to watch. I mean, people don't pay that much attention to trustees, but that's where you pay your tax money to. So I think it's worth watching. I will address something that Luke said, and you make a point about the Election Commission, but my point is people wait too late to file their petitions in the first place. You pick up the petitions on December 22nd. Why are you waiting until the week of the deadline to file them? I know why, because you are trying to see who's in what race and what race can I win. No, that's not fair to this election commission, and I'm finding myself defending a Republican-controlled election commission. But come on, folks, if you're going to run for office, you ought to know what office you want to run to in the 1st of January and file those petitions so they don't have to be piled up at the end.
Well, there you go. You have Otis Sanford defending the Republican Commission and Luke Simbel, the Republican, criticizing it.
Well, Otis, you make a good point, because somebody who very much used that strategy was County Clerk Wanda Halbert.
Yeah,
she pulled for 3 races, but she filed for criminal court clerk. A county trustee was one that she pulled for.
Right.
County clerk, which she already termed out of, was the other one.
Right.
The third one was, I can't quite remember.
Well, those are the 3.
Yeah,
criminal court,
yes. Oh, I said all of them.
Trustee and county
the
clerk.
current one. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure. But which brings us to the county clerk's office.
Yes, and Pepper, I'm so glad you mentioned Wanda Halbert, because I did call her today to ask her which one she filed for, and it was the criminal court clerk's position. And so this position is so important because it manages not only license plates, processes, but also business license, marriage license. And so the candidates that have pulled petitions was 13, but those that have filed so far: Edward Holt, Lasagna Hall, Ariel Gibson Martin, Robert Wayne Green, William Stovall, Myra Charles, and James Fuller. These are all, I know most of them, and I have to say, Benny Smith, has also filed. Benny works in the clerk's office. Ariel has worked in the clerk's office. Really talented individuals. Lasagna Hall is the deputy CAO for the county. She understands what an administrator does and knows how to function well. Mr. Stovall, who also is a former General Sessions Court clerk, CAO, and then Michael Williams, who's also the current CAO for the General Sessions Court. So you have really a wide range of individuals that are running for this particular very, very important position for Shelby County. So it's really a race to watch.
Okay, well, that was a jam-packed first segment. I love it. Make sure that you stay with us, not just for this show, but also just all things elections. But when we come back, we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about XAI's proposed gas turbine permits for their South Haven facility. Stay with us.